My father screamed at me, "Go live in the streets." My parents called me a useless failure and threw me out of the house. At that moment, I felt every ounce of humiliation pierce me, but I just smiled. Little did they know, I would go on to earn $28 million a year. And the look on their faces when they found out, priceless. If you've ever been underestimated, belittled, or told you'd never make it, hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video and comment below if you've ever dreamed of the ultimate vindication. This is a story of betrayal, triumph, and poetic justice, so stay tuned. I grew up in a house where love was conditional on success as they defined it. I wasn't the athletic one. I wasn't the straightest scholar. I didn't fit the mold my parents had painstakingly built in their heads. From the outside, we looked like a picture-perfect family, but inside, it was suffocating. I'll never forget the night they kicked me out. I had just turned 22, fresh out of university with a degree that didn't impress them. My father slammed his fist on the dining table and yelled, "You're a disgrace. Go live in the streets." My mother, usually quieter but just as sharp, added, "We've wasted enough on your education. You're worthless." It's a moment I can still feel the cold chill of their words. The slam of the front door as they literally shoved me out into the night. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I simply smiled. Not out of happiness, oh no. This was something far more complex. It was a smile that came from a seed of defiance that had been growing inside me for years. I wandered the streets that night, but not because I was homeless. I stayed at a friend's small apartment, thinking, planning, breathing in the bitter air of injustice. Every insult they hurled replayed in my mind. Useless, failure, worthless. Those words became fuel, not chains. I vowed I wouldn't just survive. I would thrive, and I would make them regret underestimating me. The first few years weren't easy. I worked multiple jobs, some humiliating, some grueling. I learned the art of scrappiness, of never taking no for an answer, of turning every slight into motivation. By day, I was grinding. By night, I was learning. I devoured books on finance, business, and technology. I followed every startup story, every tale of someone who rose from nothing. And slowly, I started experimenting tiny investments, small business ideas, coding projects. I remember one particularly low moment. I had saved just enough to buy a small workstation. I sat there, staring at a blinking cursor on my laptop, feeling the weight of loneliness and doubt. They were right. Maybe I am useless, I thought. And then, something inside me snapped. No, I wasn't useless. I just hadn't been given the tools I needed, or perhaps the freedom. That night, I started building my first tech platform, a software that helped small businesses automate routine tasks. It started slow. I didn't have investors, mentors, or even a proper office. I coded from a tiny bedroom, surviving on instant noodles and energy drinks. Every day, my parents' words echoed in my mind, not as condemnation, but as a challenge. "You think I'm worthless? Watch me." Months turned into years. The platform gained traction, then exploded. One client told me, "This has saved us thousands of hours of work." Another said, "We can't imagine running our business without this now." Slowly, very slowly, my confidence solidified, and so did my wealth. By the fourth year, I was earning millions. And here's the thing, they still had no idea. My parents assumed I had disappeared into failure. Swallowed by the streets, they told me to live on. The irony was exquisite. I was no longer the scared, powerless child. I was powerful, independent, unstoppable. Then came the perfect moment for revenge, not cruel, not petty, but satisfying in a way that only justice can be. My company, which had grown far beyond the small bedroom project, was hosting an international tech conference. I invited several key industry figures and, without their knowledge, my parents. They had been invited under the guise of attending a local business awards ceremony. When they arrived, I watched them wander the elegant hall, bewildered by the grandeur they didn't expect. And then I stepped onto the stage to give my keynote speech. Lights dimmed, and a hush fell over the crowd. I opened my laptop, projected the latest financial report, and said, 4 years ago I was told I was a failure. I was kicked out of my home and told to go live in the streets. Today, I run a company that earns $28 million a year. And the people sitting in the front row, yes, My parents told me I was worthless. Here's the proof of what worthless looks like. I watched their faces contort as they saw numbers, graphs, client testimonials, and media coverage flashing across the screen. The room erupted in applause. I didn't gloat. I just smiled. The same smile I had worn the night they kicked me out. Only now it was layered with triumph. My mother's lips trembled. My father looked like he had swallowed something sour. They couldn't deny the reality they had been wrong. And the most satisfying part, they had underestimated me for every second of my life. After the conference, I walked up to them. I didn't need to lecture, didn't need to explain. Just one phrase sufficed. You told me I was useless. I hope you've seen the truth. They had nothing to say. No excuses, no anger, just stunned silence. For the first time, I saw vulnerability in the eyes of the people who had once held power over me. It was an intoxicating feeling, not revenge for the sake of revenge, but justice served with precision. Since that day, I've maintained a professional distance from them. Our relationship isn't perfect, and I'm not a vindictive person by nature, but I no longer carry the weight of their judgment. I've built my life on my terms, using the pain they caused as a blueprint for ambition, creativity, and perseverance. And here's the takeaway that I hope resonates. Life can throw the cruelest words and harshest rejections your way, but those moments, they can become fuel. Every insult can be a spark, every dismissal a challenge. You don't need revenge in the traditional sense. You need to succeed so profoundly that the world can't ignore your existence. That's the sweetest justice of all. Sometimes the people who hurt us the most also teach us the most powerful lessons. Pain can become fuel. Rejection can become motivation. And the quietest, most effective revenge is proving them wrong, not in anger, but through extraordinary success. If you've ever been told you're worthless, comment below and share your story. Hit like if you love seeing justice served the right way. And subscribe for more stories where the underestimated rise to unforgettable triumphs. Who knows, you might just find your own path to victory.